So today, boys and girls, we're going to see how the courts, their only interest really is the money that they can get from businesses on fines. So a buddy of mine was telling me about an experience he had recently. I said, hey, that sounds kind of interesting. So why don't you give me copies of stuff, black out whatever you don't want shown. And I took notes, and I thought it was interesting how, I guess, in my opinion, and in the guy that had it happen, that the courts just coerce this money because they know the businesses will pay it. And it just seems, I don't know, rather corrupt. And this was through the Toledo Municipal Courts that my buddy had to go through when dealing with that ticket. So he says he was stopped by a Toledo cop by the name of Kovacs, Kovacs, and the company he was working for was doing some work, some long-term work on a road, and apparently everybody had been going down this one road. Then all of a sudden got stopped by Kovacs, and the 6,000-pound load limit road that him and another guy went down, they got tickets. They weighed them and they got tickets. But the interesting part is when they actually go to court and how the court deals with it. From what he told me, their only interest was just to get the money from them. But I guess that's no surprise. So here you see the charging officer and his badge number and some other information on there. So what they did is, he said they pulled him over, and there's a way that they weigh them at an off-site location. And the thing about this is, it wasn't an overweight because both trucks were empty. Okay, so it was not that they were overweight, it was that they were on a road with a weight limit. So they were way over the weight limit. So now here you see my buddy's vehicle in question was 22,700 pounds over the posted limit on that road. So they take the 28.7, subtract the 6,000 because you're allowed 6,000, and that left him with a 22,700 pound over the posted weight limit for that road. Now something else that he also got a ticket for was where it says, I've highlighted it on here, other offense, traffic control devices, with an Ohio Revised Code of 4511.12. Now, he subsequently found out that that's 2 points against his CDL. And that reads in part, no pedestrian, driver of a vehicle, operator of a streetcar or trackless trolley shall disobey the instructions of any traffic control device placed in accordance with the chapter unless at the time otherwise directed by the police officer. So basically what that means is, this Kovacs gave the two guys, because they didn't obey the sign that said no vehicle over 6,000 pounds. So, and our feeling is, it's the way just to get them to pay the money, because it is really a crack to do that, to actually give them a ticket for that and the other. But, so you'll see how it went in court. So as I'm sure you know, the court systems are just a great big money grab. And so when he went there with a representative of the company on the day of the court hearing, they were taken very last. The two guys were taken last and basically pulled aside, and the prosecutor told them that, you know, if they paid the ticket today, they would get a 25% discount, and they would drop the ticket, because each one of them also got that ticket that was 2 points for disobeying the traffic control signs. So that's where he thought, and I kind of agree with him, is that they were so willing just to throw that out, and it's just something they hold over your head. So you pay it today, we'll give you 25% off, and we'll let you go about your business, and we'll fill our pockets up with some cash. Now apparently he wanted to fight the ticket because he was saying they actually had authorization to be on it, but didn't have the paperwork on him at the time, and the cop told him that, well, you have to produce it at the time I asked for it, which, I don't know, that doesn't make sense if you can produce it, but at some point in time. But he said, the prosecutor said, well, this is more complicated, you're going to have to come back, have a pre-trial, all that crap. So they know nobody wants to do that. Businesses don't have time for that. People don't have time for that. So basically they came up with the numbers that it would cost for this ticket. Now my buddy said he did not have to pay the ticket. The company did pay for it, but the original cost was $905. And so ultimately, in the end, by paying it that day, it was $678.75. And the 2-point ticket was waived and thrown out. So that's how it is, guys. You just pay your ticket, be on your way. They made money off you and wouldn't even let you. He said that the day of the court, they could produce the document, but they said, well, they couldn't do that. You'd have to come back. Just another way for the Toledo police and the court systems to fill their pockets with cash. And I think he was telling me that court costs for everybody in there that day, so there was a lot of people in there, was $108 court costs. Whether they got it taken care of or not, they had to pay court costs, $108, I believe is what he told me. But, that's how the system is. It's all about money. And it just seems a shame that that's how, obviously, they should have had the right to fight that. Because he was telling me there was people in there that day that were able to get it taken care of and reduced and all that. And things thrown out. But he said they would not accept the paperwork to show that he was given an exemption. The company he worked for was given an exemption to be on that road to get to the area that they were working in. That's where the corruption, I feel, as he was explaining this to me, that's where it comes in. Because, if I've had it before where I've gotten stopped and I didn't have my license on me, well, they don't give me a ticket. They go look and they see, okay, they can look up your car. They got a picture of you, I'm sure, when they look up your information. Give you a warning and you're about your business. And you don't have to have your driver's license on you. And so the mere fact that he said the cop told him, well, you got to produce it when I asked for it, really sounded like a crock. And I thought, let's do a video on this and expose how the Toledo courts are making money off of businesses when, in this case, it should have, the ticket to my buddy should have been dropped. Like I said, his company paid for it, but still, everybody involved, it should have just not had to be paid, because they were allowed to be on that road.